This podcast is brought to you by our anime addicts all over the world. If you want to support the podcast, keep this podcast ad-free, do a good thing, and get all of our extra content, you can go to our website, AAAPodcast.com/join. Or, hey, you can head over to the Patreon page, which seems popular these days. Support the show. And with that, let's get the show started.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAAPodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome back to the podcast, episode 821 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast, and I am your host, Mitsugi. It's been a while. I feel like it's been a few weeks since I've been on this podcast, which is pretty weird for me. But I'm back making your anime addiction worse, and I've got two good buddies. I've got Caroline, fresh off of her bar crawl in Boston. How are you, Caroline?
I'm good. It was a good time, and you can hear more about it in our Hobby Addicts episode, which we'll be recording in a bit.
I'm surprised you remember
I'm
enough
good.
about that to even do it on the Hobby Addicts.
Yes, well, it's hard to forget good times. But also here, Fridgie. Hey, Fridgie.
Straight from the House of the Mouse, I wish. It's your boy who's here with some Pokemon on his shelf, which aren't
That's a
shelves.
Snorlax. Is that a Snorlax?
It's a Snorlax and a Growlithe. For
Growlithe.
listeners who are only listening, we are live on Twitch, normally at 10 a.m., ideally, EST, every Sunday. And you can see them
Or
on your
EDT
screen.
now. No, Fridgie, it's EDT now, not
You know what?
EST.
You know what? Daylight savings has always been silly. But
Just
yes,
say
we are, I
ET,
guess,
then everybody will get
Based.
Eastern
whatever time of
time. I guess we're Eastern Daylight Time now.
year.
Yeah. And I did some weird things, so if you were watching this on screen, you would have seen them. Hi.
Welcome into all of you listening, wherever you're from, whatever country, whatever you're doing, riding the train, let's say you're at work, grocery shopping. I like the gym. The gym is a good one. Welcome into the podcast. We are so happy to have you. You can head up our Discord, AAADiscord.com, where they're doing Anime Club every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's right. Got that right.
You got it right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And April
Next meeting,
1st. Yeah, go ahead.
April 1st. Yeah. No joke. No April Fools there. They will be getting together 9 p.m. For a watch party of Bebop High School, which
What?
was kind of a it was going around on our Discord for quite a while, Bebop High School. I've never seen it, and unfortunately I will not be seeing it because I will not be available on April 1st, but they will still be getting together. They will still be having a watch party, and we still expect you to be there. So join our Discord.
Are you guys trying to bait me into joining the Discord for that? Because
Whatever it takes, man. But we did do Great Teacher Onizuko, and you did not show up. So that was our best attempt to get you to join.
that is unfortunate that I did not do that. But Mason was dangling that one in front of me for quite some time. So I also want to say that on this episode, we're going to be doing our spring 2026 anime picks. So it's one of my favorite episodes that we do. We go through, we kind of reveal the new season for you. We can't do everything because there's like 70 anime a season now, but we have selected what we like to think are the best 20 to 21 shows. We'll go through those for you in just a bit. And we're also going to be doing a review of Jack of All Trades, Party of None, which is an anime from the last season, which has concluded. So, and
last week, very recently.
Very recently. And also on Patreon, I want to thank some new contributors that we've got over the past couple weeks. We're a little behind, but Jesse Brickzin, Grant76, and Gen X Anime Dad all coming in big for us on the Patreon. So thank you guys so much for helping out the podcast and plopping down your big balls on the table and supporting the show. So we do appreciate you. So, all right, guys, you ready? Let's get into the big news of the week, and so we can kick this thing going.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
I don't really know how this got on here. I never watched K-pop.
I'm not sure who added it.
Oh, it was me. I've never watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, it's a great movie.
So that's what I was making it.
Fun.
It seems like more of a news item for you, Caroline, but it had to be said. Undeniably so, K-pop Demon Hunters has won 2 Oscars at the 98th awards that happened this past week, pretty much on the 15th of March. It won Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song, Golden, which I have not heard that song. Maybe I have, but I don't know.
Oh, you have. It's on the radio. It's kind of crazy.
You think I listen to the radio? Do you know how old I am?
No. I'm just saying that it is so entrenched in pop culture these days that I'd be surprised, especially like on social media and stuff. You know.
You are right, and I am old. So it also won 2 Golden Globes. It also won 2 awards at the Critics' Choice Awards, and also won at the Grammys. So it just keeps going and going. So I haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters. I have no plan to watch it, but it doesn't matter because everyone else seems to love it. Have you watched this, Andrew?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I talked about it in Hobby Addicts. It is a good movie. While there are issues with the K-pop industry overall as a whole, there's a lot of part of it that I do enjoy. And this was a win for K-pop. And ideally, hopefully, they will turn this into something good that does good for people. But overall, it was a fun movie. I'm glad it won, what it did.
I just feel like Golden is nowhere near the best song in that movie. I would go for Your Idol or This Is What It Feels Like or How It's Done over Golden, personally.
Well, Golden got the most play. I think even Free, I think is I think a better Golden Globe song. I think it's just that Golden is the more marketable of the songs.
Yeah.
Because it only requires it features all 3 K-pop Demon Hunters, and thus you can sort of work it into the marketing a lot better than the other songs, to be fair.
Yeah. And it's like the top hit in the movie, and so it makes sense for they to market it as the top hit of the action, in here, like in the world of the movie.
On a side note, I saw a really fun video where someone said their diss track could have actually sealed the Hanmoon if they were that type of girl group, but they were just not that type of girl group. But that song was a banger enough that it could have actually sealed the Hanmoon.
I thought it was all right. But Mitz is like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
I was just
move on.
I was just hoping that Andrew hadn't seen it so I could just shout vindicated, but now I'm just a boomer.
Of course I seen it. Everyone was talking about it, and I like K-pop. Well, I like some K-pop.
Fair enough.
I like particular
K-pop.
Mitz.
You don't have to see everything.
Thank you.
True.
I appreciate
you don't have time
it.
to see everything.
That, yes. Yeah, especially now that I have a baby. So it's
true.
I have
just
changed.
Dropping that in there.
I have changed 100. Who? First of all, let me just stop and say, who the fuck thought I should have a baby?
Mitz, you should have put this in. You should have made this a title in Big News of the Week, because that is pretty big news.
Yeah. So.
True.
Yeah. So
Are you going to be now in your squeaky clean era where you cannot cuss, you cannot say lewd things because you now have a baby in the house?
No. I already drank liquor in front of my child.
Have you met Mitz and Pancake?
No, I just thought it would be funny
happen.
if now you tried to be all square.
No, we discussed this. I said, Pancake, we can't get through a sentence without saying the F word. How the fuck how are we gonna do this? No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
As long as you teach the kid that some things can only happen in the home, you should be fine.
Right now, he's a potato, so he can't interpret anything. He just wants boobs. So basically, that's the truth of it.
A man after his own father's heart.
You know what? The other day, I counted. God damn it, he broke my record on the boobs.
Oh, pie for days.
So yeah, he broke my record. And
Well, just wait
I'm a little
until
jealous.
toddlerhood, because currently my niece is there, and she has already been called a terrorist by her parents. So
Oh yeah, toddlers are the worst versions of children.
That's funny.
until they reach their preteen age, that's probably the second worst.
We can
Yeah,
talk
but that's
more.
because of hormones.
But hey, listen, if you want to get,
You can you can make a case that the terrible twos are also hormone based.
it's all
All
hormone
right, Mitch,
based.
move us on.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about that and my life, you can hear it on in the after shows. So, hey, go to Patreon. Caroline, you have big news.
Hardly. There really was not that much news this week. So this is all I could find that was somewhat interesting to me. Is that also on the vein of popular music, Japanese singer Ado and musical duo Yasobi announced that they will be performing at Lollapalooza in 2026. The festival will take place in Chicago's Grant Park between July 30th and August 2nd. Neither have revealed on which day they will perform, but for all the J-pop fans, they are going to be eating well at Lollapalooza this year. That's all. I don't go to Lollapalooza, so I won't see them, but it would be cool.
Did Yo Asobi? They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'd say they've been around for a little while. They've done a couple of concerts in the United States already. I know that.
I'm trying to see. Did they do music for Dot Hack? Could they be that old? I'm looking.
No,
at that.
Dot Hack was Yuki Kajiura, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't know if Yoasobi was a part of that, but I know Yuki Kajiura was the composer.
You know what it is? I think Yo Asobi is one of the titles of one of the main songs from Dot Hack. That's what I'm getting mixed up.
Okay, yeah. But they've done a lot of work for sure. And Otto is, a pretty, well, I was going to say rising, but they're a pretty big J-popper these days. They were essentially, I think they hit main prominence with, I think, Oshinoko in like the mainstream, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that was Yasobi. I don't know if Otto was involved.
You see, the only reason I know Otto is that their song was featured in the Hollywood Studios Japan Hollywood Horror Nights. They were the main theme of that, and they had a whole dance in it, and I watched it on the TikToks and on the YouTubes. That's how
I know they were
Otto.
somewhat involved in One Piece. I actually do have Otto music on my playlist for the gym because it's pretty good. I just don't really remember what projects they've been involved with except for One Piece.
All right, are you guys ready to go through the spring season? Because it is, let's be honest, it's packed. And
Is it?
It's packed with sequels. Packed with some things that the Midnights on our Discord will be just eating up, I'm sure.
It's packed with anime we have to cover. It's a
I'll
very
put
long,
it this way:
That is
very
true.
long list.
the top 3 on my anime list with the amount of viewers or potential viewers or who've clicked they're going to do something with the show are all 4th seasons, which is kind of crazy because it's weird to get 4 seasons in anime in general, and so yeah.
All right,
And
well,
2 of them are pretty highly anticipated, and 1 I don't even know how it got to a 4th season. But that's
Can we
not
just
what
give a
we're
quick
watching.
rundown of those 4-season shows that are coming
Yeah.
out? Just a quick rundown of what's coming out.
Yeah, so ReZero, season 4. Slime, I was reincarnated as a slime.
What the
which
fuck?
I have to watch season 3. I fucking love that show, okay?
Are you serious?
No slander, bitch.
I gave
Yeah,
up on that.
I
This is the
love
same guy
my
who
fantasy.
he's the one who's standing reborn as a
Vending
vending
machine.
machine. Of course he loves
Yeah.
slime.
I like world building, city builder, isekai, where people sit around tables and talk about
City
the politics
builder?
of the world.
What? Oh,
It's
okay.
called
All
world
right.
building, and I like it. Okay,
Okay.
Mitz?
Okay. No, I know. I just that show just kind of cheesed me out because it's like every villain becomes a part of their village, and I feel like
I know, it's the best!
I feel like I'm watching as much as I love. Well, I don't know. Name your. It's like Dragon Ball or like Sonic. Like it's one of these things. It's like every single, but it's the most unlikely villains. They all end up joining. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. You love it. It's cool. We all know.
And then
We all
High
know
School of the
you.
Elite.
Gooning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how this got to a fourth season. The first season was pretty drab, and I heard nothing really interesting about season 2 or 3. So the fact that it got to a fourth season kind of surprised me. But I've only seen season 1, and that was when it first came out. So those are the top 3. I say top 3. The most 3, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
They are so 3. Okay.
But
All right.
Caroline, you won
Yes.
this
Did I?
season.
I won,
Yeah.
and I just assume I'm never going to win, so I just focus on the shows that I secretly want to watch other than the ones that are obviously going to get picked. And so I do play into my guilty pleasures. Listen, especially on the ones that are towards the bottom of my list, I do not expect them to be great, and I do not expect them to be passed, but I do expect to personally like them because they are my bread and butter, if you know what I mean. So that brings us to the first one on the list here. So, but this is like bottom of the list, and we're working our way up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we
this
have-
is from your.
We have 21 of these. I think we should say who picked them so I can make fun of you. I'm going to play the trailers live and with some audio in the background so we can listen if I can get this shit working. But yeah, just so you know. Yeah, I'm working on it.
All right. Well, towards the bottom of my list, but still fairly high up there. I can't remember what number I placed this at, but I am looking forward to giving
Number
it a
6
watch.
on your list.
Number 6. Okay.
Yes.
This one is Observation Records of My Fiancé, The Misadventures of the Self-Proclaimed, wait for it, Villainess. It's another villainess show.
Why do you do this, though? Why?
Because...
Why, though?
Okay, Mitz, you can watch borderline hentai. Let me watch my villainess shows.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay. You're right.
Yeah, so... But I just burst out in laughter when I first read the synopsis because I'm like, okay, this is so stupid. For a natural genius like Crown Prince Cecil Glow Alfrostar, that's his name.
What? How did they get away with that?
Every day is a bore. Knowledge and skills come far too easily for him, to the point that nothing can captivate his interest. However, this changes the day he meets someone who never fails to betray his expectations. His fiancée and self-proclaimed villainess, wait for it, Bertia Evil Noches.
Evil?
Evil.
Evil?
That's her middle name. Bertia claims that this world is that of a quote-unquote otome game. She has been reborn as the villainess, and it's her duty to impede the relationship between Cecil and the heroine. Never to shy away from fate, she zealously takes to her evil role to mixed results. Though she doesn't realize it, Bertia's supposedly evil deeds always comes off as sincere and kind. Finally relieved of his melancholy, there's never a boring day for Cecil as he observes his unknowingly good-hearted fiancée. The names are dumb.
I'm watching the trailer.
Names are dumb. The story is paint by numbers a bit.
I mean, I think the trailer, it looks pretty. I'll give it that. I saw some trailers.
Yeah, it's it's not as bad as some of the stuff I've seen. So I will watch a couple episodes. I will laugh. Maybe we'll pass it for shits and giggles, but maybe we won't.
Yeah, we'll get to it, but I definitely saw some of these trailers earlier today that were essentially not animated, and I was like, how does this shit get made? But we'll get to those actually quite shortly. So, Andrew, what have you done?
Yeah, so the show on my list is a number 3 on my list. I basically got my top 3 because my strategy is always go last, and so you can just pick whatever other people aren't picking. And it usually tends to be the shows I'm kind of curious about or interested in anyway. And that way I can guarantee that we get a whole bunch of random stuff. So this is number 3 on my list. This is Aaron the Southpaw. This is a production IG work, and essentially it follows Koichi Asakura, who is a designer from an ad agency who got dropped because he works hard but never got any recognition. Your classic Japanese story. And while going back to a past project, he meets a girl named Erin, who is known as a genius left-handed graffiti artist in New York. And it seems to be dealing with their adult struggles in life. So I thought it looked interesting. When I looked at the poster, the characters looked more adult. It was production IG, so I knew it looked like it was going to have some pretty decent production values off the top of my head, off the bat. And one of the themes is called Adult Cast and Visual Arts, which it means it's probably going to be it's going to look visually interesting, even if it might not be heavy on the story, but it's going to be dealing with adults, which is kind of fun in my old age, to not have to always watch teenagers, even though I think one of the other shows on my list is about that, but I think this might be an interesting, one of those, like a bartender or something like that, something with a more adult skew towards the anime and the animation style. So that is why I looked at that and picked that one. It looked interesting.
I see a lot of people in the trailer crying at work. That's yeah. Oh, there's another one person crying. They are just crying. Yeah. When I see, I gotta be honest with you. When I saw Eren the Southpaw, spelled Eren, because Jaeger, right? I thought to myself, the Southpaw, it's a boxing show. Yes, that's what I thought to myself. But no. I don't know why it's called Southpaw. They just did that to fuck with me.
Left-handed. It's a left-handed graffiti artist.
Well, but who cares about that?
Is that what Southpaw means? I've never heard that before.
It does.
It usually refers, to people who use their left hand. Usually in boxing.
Is that really, like, a big deal to graffiti with your left hand?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. I don't know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yes, because most people graffiti with their right hand.
All right.
Okay.
They do lots of things with their right hand primarily. We call that the stranger. So let's see here. Next up here is an anime that I picked because I thought it was ecchi, and it's what is this guy called? Ichijoma Mankitsugurashi. That's a mouthful. But it is what it is. So I'm scrolling down and I see ecchi. I'm like, I want ecchi. I have to represent. But I watched this trailer and it was like there's no ecchi in the trailer. And now I'm thinking I just fucked up, basically.
Well, the promo art looks like a cute girls doing cute things show.
Well, I didn't really pay that much attention to that. I just saw the 5-letter word, and I grabbed it. So, Meiko is a country girl. She comes to... Oh, man. She enrolls in an all-girls school, and under the condition that she joins a volunteer program that apparently has lots of other moe blobs in it. And you will come and enjoy the charm of a manga cafe filled with high school girls, which is where she's going to be doing most of her work. So, and if you look at the trailer, it is a comedy, clearly. Whoa, wait a second, let's back this up. Wait a minute, backing it up on screen here. This girl looks like fucking, what's her name, from Higurashi no Naku Koroni. Look at that girl. What is that girl's name, Higurashi?
No, it's not Sion, it's... Oh,
I never watched it, I don't know.
I got it.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm operating 3 computers at once here. Let's see. Reina. She looks exactly like Reina.
Yes.
This is fucking Reina, 100%. How do they get away with this shit? I thought I was literally watching Higurashi for a second. So, I don't know, guys. It's done by Studio Dean, which also is not a very good studio, so it's probably going to be a horrible anime. It's no, that's Higurashi. That's Studio Dean. That's my bad. So
you picked a Bushi Road show, Mitz.
Yeah, I did. Bushi Road. Holy shit.
You
know
what?
what?
Not enjoying this when I unfortunately probably will have to watch.
This looks like the worst kind of ecchi, where it's a cute girls doing cute things.
It's not ecchi. I got bamboozled.
Kids looking like they are 12, and then you get a random panty shot in the middle of the PV. It's
ecchi.
Was there a panty shot in the PV?
There was.
There is hope. There is hope. Okay.
I don't want to see these 12-year-olds' panties.
This next one is one of Mason's. And this is one of the ones that I said had almost no animation at all in the trailer. So I don't know what the story is with this one. Mason's usually pretty discerning. From Studio Satellite, it is Drops of God. It's about Kanzaki, who's the son of the world's most renowned critic. From a young age, he is subjected to strange education from his father, all for the sake of wine. And he learns to gracefully decant a drink, so intently remembering the smell of leather belts and pencils. The training causes him to grow resentful of everything related to wine. And then the discontent with his father, he leaves his home to become an average sales rep for a beer company, refusing to ever touch wine again. I don't really like wine. Definitely don't like beer. I don't particularly drink wine either. So, look at the way that guy caressed those grapes. Look at that. He's just, look at this. The delicate hands. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm looking at this trailer and I am insanely bored.
I think that this is something that people have been talking about that's been coming out. I feel like I remember somebody talking about it years ago. And like, oh my god, it's getting an anime adaptation. I'm like, okay. And I think this is what they were talking about. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much knowledge about it.
Well, the Drops of God manga doesn't have a lot of people that have read it. It only has a 7.5 on Mal. It's apparently not that renowned. It does have 44 volumes, though, which is a shitload. That's fucking long. 440 chapters? God damn. So, I mean...
You gotta find the drop of God, Nets.
Is that...
Take a while.
Yeah. There's a lot of drops in a wine bottle. So, all right. Who wants to take this next one? This is one where I was going through this list and I watched all 5 of these and I went on and I lashed out like a child, like I always do. And I went on the Discord and I said, these fucking trailers suck. And then I got to this one and I said, you know what? There is hope. And then I laughed about it, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So, let's see here. I choose Caroline.
Oh, okay. Next up on the list, let's see who picked this one. Raggedy got Mao, which is a story about Nanoka, who passes through a portal into the Taisho era, where exorcist Mao reluctantly rescues her from the jaws of a grotesque yokai. When Nanoka gets back to the present, she discovers she has new incredible abilities. She returns to the past looking for answers, only to get caught up in Mao's investigation of a series of gruesome murders. As her questions about herself multiply, Nanoka learns that Mao is cursed by a cat demon named Byoki, and so is his sword. If anyone but Mao attempts to wield it, they are doomed. But when Mao's life is in jeopardy, Nanoka picks up his blade and swings. I believe this is from the same creator as, what's it called?
It's Rumiko Takahashi.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rumiko Takahashi.
I was going to say, this just sounds like Inuyasha.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, this is, yeah.
So I watched the trailer and I said, this actually looks cool. So I said, this looks cool. And then I thought to myself, and then when I found out it was Rumiko Takahashi, I just laughed because this is coming out like 20 years after Inuyasha did. And she's just going back to the well, pun intended, to basically just have absolutely no new ideas at all. I don't know. Like, how can you seriously do another anime 20 years later about a girl who goes back 100 years into the Taisho era? Come on. Wearing a sailor outfit. You're killing me.
It's Kagome, but with sword.
To a boy.
Everybody has their niche.
The boy even has white hair. I mean, you're killing me. It's so funny. But I think the trailer does look good. Definitely more
One is emulating a dog and one is emulating a cat. That's very different, Mitz.
Is it a cat girl?
No, it's a cat boy.
We don't really need cat boys. We just need cat girls, just so you know. It's very upsetting.
I mean, it's Studio Sunrise, so your
That is
mileage
true.
may vary, and it seems like they may have gotten the good part of Studio Sunrise, because Sunrise can be really hit or miss sometimes with their animation, I'll tell you that much. But it seems like they may have gotten the good side of Sunrise.
I love
in this
Sunrise.
particular case.
It's one of my favorite studios. I know it's one of your favorites.
Of course, Gundam.
All right. I can actually, Andrew, I think it's definitely your turn. We'll let you take the Moe Blob Taberu Dake.
You are evil. All right,
Whoa,
so
way too
the
loud.
next show.
Way too loud. Oh, that was a very odd clip to play out loud.
Okay, I was like, I'm talking in my normal pace. I'm not even right in front of the mic as I when I said this. All right, so number 16 on the list of the 21 shows that we are picking for impressions. This one was picked by Otaku Cop. This was his number 7 pick. Luckily, we didn't have to go very deep into this one. Everyone got basically in the top 7 of their picks. This is Maid-san wa Taberu Dake, or The Food Diary of Miss Maid. It looks like a silly, cute show. The genres are marked as gourmet and slice of life, so it's probably going to be a cute girl who eats things. So what's a maid to do when she finds herself suddenly stuck in Japan for a year? Eat, of course. Follow maid-in-training Suzume Tachibana as she tries all sorts of Japanese food, from sweets like taiyaki and melon bread to savory snacks like takoyaki and onigiri. Be warned, though, while
Why?
Suzume states her appetite through delicious treats after delicious treats, sorry, she might just end up wetting yours. That is oddly
What?
sexual at the end, but I don't know if it goes there. I think it's one of those walk around and eat anime, so sort of like the solo camping, or that one where the girl goes through Japan and she sees all the different lesser known Japanese sites where she does day trips. It feels like one of those anime. I haven't seen the PV at all for this, but it looks like it's cute. It's done by Studio Magic Bus and EMT Squared. Magic Bus I'm not overly familiar with. I think they do a lot of in-between work, but it seems like a lot of their shows are from way old, which is kind of crazy. Let's see, OVA. They did a lot of OVAs basically over the last little bunch of years with a very old school style. So this is like an old studio based on some of the things I see. So it's very not in their style wheelhouse, which is kind of interesting. But this was, Otaku Cop's, Detective Otaku's pick.
I'd like to put him under arrest for picking a show with a girl that has eyebrows like this in it. I hate these eyebrows. Look at this shit. She looks like Moogie whatever from K-On! I can't stand it.
Oh, yeah.
God. Listen, it's called eyebrow threading. You can get it done for like $8. Takes like 10 minutes. I know this because I have sat outside while Pancake has used the eyebrow threading. And it's very nice.
You're letting out secrets on the podcast, man.
Every girl knows what eyebrow threading is. It's not a secret. It's very cheap. I recommend it. Go get it done. Moogie person. Okay. All right, Caroline, back to you.
Okay, what's next? It's mine. And another reminder. Yes, I know that this is a dime a dozen show. And yes, I'm still going to enjoy it. Do I expect it to pass? No. But we're going to give it a fair shot because it was my pick. The Ramparts of Ice. Inept at dealing with people, Koyuki Hikawa maintains a wall between herself and others. She spends her time in high school away from others, all alone, at least until she encounters Minato Amamiya, who keeps closing the distance between them for some reason. The aloof Koyuki, the popular Miki, and the boundaryless Minato, and the easygoing and kind basketball team player Yota. This is the story of the somewhat complicated four and their tantalizing, bumbling youth. So, it's one of those shows where it's like awkward person ostracized from class for some reason meets the popular kid. They get out of their shell. There may or may not be some romance. If there is romance, it's probably not going to come into fruition until the end of the manga. But again, I can't handle when I was coming to the ends of my picks and I saw this, I'm like, I gotta put this on the list. So, it's by, Studio Kai, based on a web manga. And, I'm just going to have a little bite. Just a little bite, just to see how it tastes. That's all.
Kai has done more stuff than you would think. I mean, they've been pretty active recently, and they've done a lot of stuff clear back to being involved in, like, the remake of Captain Tsubasa and stuff like that. So, I don't know, they're you keep hearing about all these studios, and I keep thinking, Jesus, there's a lot of anime studios. Like, I mean, I guess there have to be for how many anime come out now, but there just seem to be all these new ones that I don't recognize. They definitely have a lot of stuff, so they're not as new as you'd think. So, all right. Next up on the list here, I'll switch over to the trailer here for you guys. For those of you that are enjoying the trailers, this is one of Andrew's. Jump on it, man. It's all you. Is Andrew still with us?
I'm muted. I muted myself. Apologies.
What is this? A Teams meeting at work?
Yes, because I was looking at something. All right, so this was my number 2 pick, and this is number 14, and this is my pick. This is Haibara's Teenage New Game Plus. So this follows an anxious college senior named Natsuki Haibara who thinks back on his life in high school and how awkward and annoying and how much fun he could have had while being a student back in high school. And one day he wakes up and he finds himself 7 years in the past, 1 month before his first year of high school. Can he avoid his previous mistakes and make his way to the top of the school social pyramid and end up with the girl of his dreams? Or will he be forced to relive 3 years of solitude as the most hated guy in school? He'll need all the help he can get in order to succeed, from a workout regimen to online how-to guides, a childhood friend, and plenty of sheer willpower. So watch as he takes a second shot at his teenage years. So this is your classic this is classic in the North American style of going back to the past to like maybe fix something that you wish you could have done differently. And it's probably going to be your typical high school anime, and there obviously will be some ethical questions of what is this 20-year-old person doing in the body of a teenager and what that means ethically. But I mean, no one's really going to care about that. Will he even think about that? Who knows? But I think it's like a fun concept. It seems a little silly. It is done by Studio Comet, so I feel like
another one.
Your mileage may vary, but they did do School Rumble Season 3, so that the OVA of that, and I think they did School Rumble, so that does give me some hope that it'll be hopefully a little bit silly and a little bit fun like that.
God, Studio Comet, like, where the hell did that come from?
What do you mean? It came from space, obviously.
I mean, it's just like there's these studios. There's the studios everybody knows, and then there's like just seemingly a million of them that no one ever remembers the name of. I don't like, you got your PA Works, your A1 Pictures.
My favorite animes.
Which is what?
Called Whistle, which I will always.
Whistle's sick, man.
Soccer anime, they did Whistle, so they're a solid studio. Like they've done a Captain Tsubasa, they've done School Rumble. Like I said, they don't have, their highest rated show is Initial D First Stage.
Goddamn right.
They're an early adopter of CG, I would believe, in the anime world. So hopefully this looks good. But it seems like this is their wheelhouse. Silly high school comedy with maybe a little bit of action here or there, but nothing too crazy. And so I think this might turn out to be better than it may be, or it's just a huge ass ecchi show where he's a pervert and I hate it. But I don't know. I usually am pretty good at figuring these things out.
I would like to note that Initial D First Stage looked like utter ass and succeeds in despite of itself. It is horrific. Yeah. It is horrific to look at, but is a must watch for sure. So
I mean, that soundtrack basically saves that show. All right, Mitz, you're up.
And if you want to know why I picked this anime, you only need to look at the trailer promo art, which I'm showing on the screen, because it is boobs. So, yep, pretty much. Yes, my infant child will follow in my footsteps. He already loves them. So he's a big fan. I'll tell you that right now. So I just wanted you to know. Clear some of these tabs out of here. Getting a little out of control. All right, so this is Yowa Yowa Sensei, which I did pick because it came up under the ecchi list. Listen, I want you guys to know that I showed restraint this time around because under the spring season list, there were a few hentais that were listed as part of the lineup. I thought to myself, they're on the lineup. It's fair game. Maybe I should do it. What would Caroline say? And then I restrained myself. I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to. I'll just pick Yoa Yoa Sensei, which hopefully will have something interesting for the fans of the genre, but I did show restraint. So this is a Gyapu Moe show, Gap Moe, which is about a second-year high school teacher who starts teaching, and she is known as Yoa Yoa Sensei, or Scary Scary Sensei, a woman rumored to curse anyone who crosses her. But then one day, one of the key students in the anime accidentally witnesses a completely unexpected side of Yoa Yoa Sensei. And the striking contrast between her two personalities, the one that she shows at work and the one that she has in private, is the gap moe. That's what that means. It's like the difference between your tatamae and honne, as they say in like Asian cultures, your outward face you show in public and how you really are. So brace yourself for gap moe overload in this tender romantic comedy that's sure to ignite your protective instincts and probably ignite something else as well. From Studio Brains Base, with more breast grabbing than you can handle in the promo art. So there you go. How excited are we on a scale from 1 to 10? Come on, Caroline.
Do you want to know the answer?
I wouldn't have asked if I didn't want the answer.
I'm gonna safely say that's a 0.
As 0 was not from 1 to 10. That's outside of the range.
A 1 then.
Oh, so you're a little excited.
Oh,
That is fantastic.
Yeah, you can say that.
I want you guys to know that when I pick these ecchi shows, even though you guys always vote them down, I almost always finish them. So I want you to know that. Someone has to do it.
So you are capable of finishing anime.
I am capable of finishing. That is indeed true. All right, so Lady Emery's first pick. What did she roll?
Yeah,
20?
Took a while. Yeah, Lady Emery's pick is Agents of the Four Seasons. Here's the synopsis. Winter was once the only season in the world, but such an existence was too lonely to bear, so it created spring to love. Before long, the earth wished for more time to rest in the cycle, and summer and autumn were born. The ones who carry the cycle are called the Agents of the Four Seasons. Hinagiku, the agent of spring, disappeared from this land 10 years ago, taking the season of spring with her. Now, after incredible hardship, she has returned to restore the cycle to its proper state, and as in the myth passed down since the dawn of time, she sends her love to winter. I also took a look at this for picks, because the promo art is quite pretty, and I was wondering if this was a very sentimental, thoughtful type of show based on the synopsis. And that's what it gives. Studio. It's what it gives in the first half of the PV, but in the second half, it gets to look a little surface level action type of show. It's a tale of two shows in this PV. It's kind of weird. So I ended up not putting it on my list, but it's good that Emery put it on here so we can at least give it a shot. It's being done by Wit Studio based off of a light novel.
All right, let's move on. I got to speed it up a bit. Liar Game is the next one here. I'm going to zip it along here, pull this one up. This is one of Mason's picks.
Yep.
So Liar Game is about a college student named Nao who has always adhered to her name's meaning of being foolishly honest. However, after opening an unsolicited package containing 100 million yen, she enters into an invitation for the Liar Game, a tournament where contestants are encouraged to betray, deceive their opponents to gain massive amounts of cash. Cheddar. Conversely, losing will incur a lifetime debt. With all hopes lost, her only option left is to seek the help of a con artist. There you go. That sounds interesting. Brought to you by Studio Madhouse.
A remake? Is this a remake or reboot of the franchise? Because I know there's definitely a few live-action versions of Liar Game. I know the manga. I feel like there's definitely been a lot of shows in the vein of this, but I think this is the OG Liar Game, effectively. I think people are recognize.
I don't see any other anime on my anime list, but I do see the manga.
Okay.
So
maybe I just feels like I saw the live action version way back when in the 2000s, late 2000s. So, but I guess it's finally getting an anime, which is pretty solid.
I like the premise.
Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forget. The next show is Raggedy's pick. I think this is Raggedy's. This was number 4 on Raggedy's list, and it's Nippon Sangoku. The Three Nations of the Crimson Sun. So this takes place in near future Japan. In the near future, Japan is completely collapsed due to nuclear warfare and natural disasters and widespread corruption. Those words together, I inverse them. It happens. Whatever. So the country is split into 3 warring superpowers. Essentially, this is a modern, retelling of the Three Kingdoms period of Japan through a post-apocalyptic lens is the assumption I'm getting, because you see that you do see that in a lot of anime, and sometimes where when Japan is usually in a post-apocalyptic state or heading towards that, it is split into 3 different sections, I guess, to reference that. Anyway, so it follows Aoteru Misumi, who is a low-ranking official who's been in the background for most of his life, and he has strong ambition to end this stupid bloodshed that is affecting the nation, and he seeks to unify the country with his sharp instinct and persuasive voice that can rally the people. The legend of the man who will become a brilliant military strategist starts now. So this is by Studio Kafka.
See?
And it is based...
See? Kafka. Can you name one show they've done? Don't look it up.
Mahotsukai no Yome, so what is it? The Magician's
Did you know that off the top of your
Bride?
head?
No, I'm looking it up.
They've
But they're actually a new studio. They're a new studio, Mitch. They were established in 2020. This is their third show. The only other thing they did was the Mahotsukai no Yome, so the Magician's Bride, or what is it?
It's okay. Everyone knows it as Mahotsukai no
The
Yome.
Ancient Mage's Bride.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Magus
that's
Bride.
what it
Yeah,
is.
that's fine.
Yeah, the ancient. Yeah, that's the only thing they've really done, and they did the third Mononoke movie, so they've not done much. Oh no, and they did Fujimoto Tatsuki 1726, which we reviewed on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. So they haven't done too much, but it seems like they do. Like they've done, like their work looks good from what I understand. I remember hearing, and so this should probably look good as well. I haven't seen the PV or anything, but it's an interesting premise enough. Three Kingdoms period retelling from a near future perspective.
All right.
I can also do the next one because
Go ahead.
It's a fun show. I've only seen half of the first season, but the next show, this is Otaku Cop's pick. This was his number 3 pick, and it is Wistoria, and God, I just had it. Wistoria Wand and Sword Season 2. It's a show that looks pretty good. It is a continuation of the first season, where essentially this guy goes to a magic school, but he is not very apt at magics, and his best friend his childhood friend was the best at magic and became a saint pretty early on. And so he's learned to basically physically train his body and become really good with a sword to try and progress in this world of where magic is basically king, and it'll be the continuation of that show. It looks really good. It's a fun show. From what I stopped because they were about to do a dating episode, but the action's pretty solid. It's really good animation. This is done by Studio Actus and / Bandai Namco Pictures, and Actus has done a bunch of other shows. I think Girls and Panzer being one of them. They're more highly rated shows.
Shit is huge. Girls and Panzer, holy shit.
Yeah, Girls and Panzer and Princess Principal are some of the shows they've worked on. So, and a bunch of Transformer shows. Anyway, so yeah, that is the second season. I think if they keep up with the animation quality they had in the first season, it's a good watch overall, and it's like a nice little show.
All right.
Caroline, the next one's yours.
Yeah. Next one is my number 2 pick on the list. Go for it, Nakamura. So on this, I probably put this so high on my list particularly because of the art style. It looks like it's from the 90s, but the manga it's based on is literally from the mid-2010s. So it's kind of funny. This is actually a boys' love manga, but it actually looks kind of funny as well. The synopsis is, Okoto Nakamura is a timid and gloomy-looking student who cherishes only 2 things in this world, his pet octopus and his kind-hearted classmate, Aiki Hirose. Ever since the school entrance ceremony, Nakamura has admired his jovial classmate, albeit from a distance due to his poor social skills. After mustering up all the courage within him, he finally decides to talk to Hirose. During his first attempt to make contact, an instinctive mistake turns the idea of friendship into a distant dream as he creates a hilarious impression of his crush. At school, students are expected to cooperate on numerous activities together, meaning Nakamura gets to spend extra time with Hirose. Given these opportunities, can he successfully redeem himself and accomplish his goal of becoming good friends with Hirose? But considering it's boy love, good friends, I don't know. I think it's probably going to be a little more than that. But yeah, so it just looks so good. So that's the main reason why I put it so high on the list.
Yeah, it kind of gives me the same animation good feelings that I get from City, the animation. Kind of has that, not that it looks the same necessarily, like, in the facial structures and whatnot, but It gives you that like old school vibe. Man, I want them to bring it back. Bring it back, people. Bring back the old school. We do it with fashion, like old. Like,
well, I mean, this is that, right? This has a very Rumiko Takahashi late 80s, early 90s vibe, like artistic style to it. Even with the animation, it does feel like classic. Or like, what was it, Cat's Eye? Even though it didn't look good, it still felt like an 80s OVA aesthetic, but modernized, and it feels like that's what they're going for, and it looks pretty solid.
All right, what do we got next?
Yeah, that's my second place pick.
Andrew, you're up.
It is me.
This is your top choice.
This is number 7 on our list. I'm surprised it is this low, but apparently me and Mitz lost, and I lost more than Mitz lost, apparently. So I'm at the bottom of the list here. So number 7, this is Petals of Reincarnation. And honestly, I'm surprised not many more people were looking forward to watching this show. This is the show of where, if you've heard the meme going around of Lolly Hitler.
What?
This is the Lolly Hitler show, yes. Okay, so Petals of Reincarnation is there's an object that exists called the Branch of Reincarnation that can grant people talents of past lives so long as they slit their own throat with it, essentially.
What?
So if you see in the PV, there's a lot of imagery of people with like petals of blood coming out of their throat, but basically it activates the power. So it's very Persona 3 coded, where you shoot yourself in the head kind of thing. Or like the whole thing about Persona 3. But yeah, so it gives that kind of vibe. So the main character is Toya Senji, he's struggling with low self-esteem, but also has ambition and is sort of like doesn't like to be looked down upon. And he has a gifted older brother. And so he sort of ends up in a twist of fate meeting a classmate of his who's what's called a returner, who has done this before, and she sort of like gets him into this world of essentially fighting villains, one of them being Adolf Hitler, who looks like a small girl with green hair.
There she is.
And there's a lot of different characters. Yeah?
I'm going to pause around the trailer. I saw her. How is that a loli?
I joked because that was what the initial news was coming out about. But if you see her, is she in the post where she's in the chair? Because
she's basically right there.
Looks like she's
ugly as hell.
Yeah, she looks like a small girl. Oh no, like if you zoom out, she looks like a small girl in a giant chair kind of deal. I think is one of the images that comes out of it. But that was a joke, right? This is Hitler is reincarnated as like a lolly Japanese girl anime, and I'm like, that sounds stupid.
That's what I thought Tanya the Evil was about.
Yeah,
agree.
This one seems like
agree.
It's not about that character, so it's less in that realm of fascism-y. But it is silly because this seems like it's like a battle anime. So the good people like Isaac Newton and a bunch of other people I can't remember the names of. I think Newman and a bunch of stuff have to fight up against villains like Hitler. It seems like a really silly show. I saw that nobody had put this on their list, or it felt like nobody really put this on their list. So I was like, you know what? I feel like this is the show that even as a meme we have to kind of watch.
No, I actually did consider putting it higher on my list. It's just I really wanted to watch my Villainess show.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
And I saw that. I think I saw other people have it somewhere, so I figured that it was going to be covered at some point.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we missed out on this, I think the fans would be a little miffed. But it'll probably be bad. But I mean, it looks good. This is by Studio Ben 10 Films, which I think did. Oh, this is their first show actually. Yeah, this is their first show, and they did I think a short.
See, I told you.
Oh, so this was formerly known as Gyna. So, oh no.
They should have stuck with Gyna because Ben 10 doesn't sound very good.
Gyna sounds like gynecologist, so.
Okay, well, I'm very disappointed, but I just found out they changed their name after being acquired by an AI animation company.
Oh
no.
Rip.
There's gonna definitely be AI in this. I'm sad now.
Oh no.
I'm sad. All right. God. Maybe that's why people didn't pick it. I feel silly. All right. Mitz, you're up.
That's not why I didn't pick it. I didn't really look closely enough at any of these to actually know anything like that. Except for this one. The best anime of the season. Here it comes. Indeed, it is Rooster Fighter. Yes. Rejoice. Because the neighborhood rooster, cock, if you will, is more than just any rooster, okay? He's humanity's only hope as he fights against kaiju, even though he's only a rooster. This trailer is so fucking funny. So this little girl, I love this. This rooster is looking, and he talks like this. Oh my, fuzaken jane. It's just this fucking rooster guy. Here, listen to him talk. I'm gonna turn the audio up. This little girl's taunting him with a drumstick. Furaido chicken. That's what he sounds like when he talks. So this little girl's taunting him with a fried chicken drumstick in the trailer, which is funny. And then he's fighting like these giant monsters, even though he's just a chicken. Or a rooster, I guess. Excuse me. So he will breathe fire and use his sharp claws to fight Godzilla-sized monsters. How will that pan out? I don't know, but it's a very interesting premise. So, had to jump on it. Probably
I heard a lot about it going into the season.
Yeah.
And I love the when the trailer goes, "One cock to save the world." I think that tells it all.
All you had to have was just the one cock for me. Yeah, that's good. One cock. There you go.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be probably the biggest show of the season. So.
Do you really think so?
More than likely.
I mean, the way that people talk about it, yeah.
It's already aired on fucking Toonami in the States, the first episode.
There is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, though. Steel Ball Run. So. Which is the only hope we have of any anime ever being better than Frieren. As it is currently tied. Oh, Caroline. Oh,
you just
I saw
hate
that.
Frieren so much, and it doesn't even deserve it.
I just like to taunt people. I'm just trolling. Okay? You know what? I stand by it. Someone has to save us from the tyranny of Frieren. Okay? It may as well be JoJo.
Well, we haven't gotten to JoJo yet. Next up on the list is Lady Emery's pick, Akane Banashi. And actually, I was fairly interested in the show myself. Kind of a long synopsis. I'm going to do my best to kind of go through it quickly. Rakugo, traditional form of storytelling, takes many years for any apprentice to master and ascend to the top rank. Ever since she could remember, Akane has been mesmerized by her father's Rakugo performances. She would peek into the sliding door and spend hours watching and mimicking his work. The only thing separating her father from that coveted rank is a promotion test. Despite his passionate performance, he gets expelled from the Rakugo school following the exam. This makes him give up on Rakugo entirely and settle for a regular job, which breaks Akane's heart. Filled with grief and anger, she now seeks vengeance and on the man who refuses to see the genius behind her father's Rakugo style. She begs his former Rakugo master to take her under his wing, but feeling unworthy of taking another pupil after what happened to her father 6 years ago. In order to see if she has what it takes to enter the Rakugo world, he urges Akane to test her resolve by performing in front of an audience. So it looks really good. It's Rakugo, so it kind of gives the impression that it could be another Rakugo Shinju, but that's impossible. But still, you want to see something as good as that. So I think this one has a lot of potential.
All right. The art is very pretty. I feel bad for the animators that had to draw that girl's eyes. That's really bad.
Oh, what do her eyes look like? I need to see.
Insanely detailed. Hold on. I'll just rewind it for you. As the trailer plays, very old looking. Here she comes. Yeah. Yeah, her eyeballs are... Yeah. Yep. They look like galaxies inside of every eyeball. So, anyway.
Cool. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they look really nice. Okay, so the next one, can we just like brush over this one real quick? Because everybody knows what it is. So I'll just... Did any of you pick this? Nope.
No, I haven't seen season 1 yet.
Yeah, neither have I. This was, I think, Mason's number one pick.
Yeah, Doro
But we are
Hedoro season 2.
season 1 for Anime Club coming up, so I will be watching it.
Doro Hedoro season 2 is coming. It's a mappa. It's your favorite lizard head man running around causing chaos. So this anime was fine for me. I am usually immediately turned off by characters that look the way that this guy does. For example, I don't like the panda bear in Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's insanely stupid. This guy's got he's a literal like lizard man, complete with his lizard man head. I think that is really stupid.
Wait a minute. So you'll get behind a rooster, but not a lizard.
He's a literal rooster as opposed to a human that just has a lizard head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I also think that like the Shangri-La Frontier guy looks really stupid because he's a human. With like a bird head. Yeah. So Dorohedoro is fine. It's obviously good. Everyone liked the first season. I'm just making a comment. So yeah, it's more of your grungy. How would I describe this? Grungy backyard like action. That's fought in back alleys, and it's a lot of fun, comedy, action. It'll be really violent. So, all right. I'm trying to get us through here so we can get to the end. And the next one I'll take as well because I watched this last night. So, the next one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run, which is currently is sitting on my anime list with a blistering 9.27, which is insanity. I'm not a pro at JoJo. I've seen about half of it. I am told that this is a reboot of JoJo's universe. So you're back at the beginning of JoJo in the late 1800s, complete with your Dio Brandos, although it's Diego Brando, your Zappellis, your Joestars, etc. And they are doing it's about basically the uncovering of the West in the United States. So they're doing a cross-country race from somewhere far out west, I'll just say California, I'm not sure, all the way to New York, and whoever can complete the race first will win $50 million, which is an astronomical sum of money for the year 1890. Like, it's probably like $1 billion or more. But yeah, so they were doing a lot of horse racing, really bizarre, wild-looking characters, as you can see in the trailer. And your typical wild JoJo action, motifs of music from the prior seasons, everything you would pretty much expect from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The blue lipstick, the wild hair, all that. David Productions is still doing it. So if you're a fan of JoJo, you're probably already watching this. I think I watched it on Netflix last night, actually. I think only one episode is out. It's a double episode, so it's like an hour long. And I don't know, 9.27 for JoJo. So,
I've never seen JoJo, so if I end up on that Impressions episode, that'll be a very new thing for me.
Well, this is perfect for you because it's basically a reset of the timeline, so you don't have to know anything about JoJo to watch this. You're back at the beginning. Everything that happened previously, I'm told, does not matter. So, and Araki, obviously, his art is unmistakable. So, Steel Ball Run, it is here. All right, next up, whoever wants to take this one, have at it.
Sure, Andrew, if you would.
Yeah, Witch Hat Atelier is the number 2 pick overall. This was Otaku Cop's number 1 pick. I think a lot of people were excited for this. It is based off of a manga and done by Studio Bug Films. And essentially in this world, magic and the people who practice it are known as witches, and they try to keep that a secret. A young, humble dressmaker's daughter named Coco, I think, meets a skilled witch who... she realized that her favorite picture book was disguised as a magic book all along, and she immediately starts testing out the various spells. So because of how they hide their magic, she ends up finding accidentally becoming a magic user herself. When a spell causes disaster in her home, she is rescued by this witch named Kifrey, and he decides, or I guess, I don't know if it's a he, but they decide to train her, and realizing that she is the first lead he has that could help him track down the Brimmed Caps, a dangerous group of heretics who experiment with forbidden body-altering magic and spread magical artifacts among the commoners. But before Coco and Kifrey can confront the Brimmed Caps, she's going to have to improve her magical skills and learn to get along with Kifrey's other apprentices. So, this was a pretty highly anticipated show for people. I know the manga did pretty well for itself, and people were really looking forward to it. I think we even mentioned it in a news article way back when they announced that they were making the show, because it was pretty big news on that regard. Bug Films is also one of those newer studios as well. The other show that they did was Zomb 100, so they definitely are able to do shows with a certain aesthetic style and push that forward. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty solid show, I think, overall. And I think this is one of the things where I think all of this is already animated. It's one of those things like sort of a la Violet Evergarden, where I think they animated it all before they starting to air it. So it should be pretty solid quality show, a solid quality show as well. From my understanding.
When I saw the title, Witch Atelier, I thought to myself, another witch anime. And then when I watched the trailer, I said to myself, this looks really cool. Actually.
Yeah, it's like, it's so highly anticipated. So this was definitely high on everybody's list. But not as high as it was on mine, because the top pick for me this year, or this season, is Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I say Daemons because it's spelled Daemons. Okay, so this one looks pretty cool. Kind of a complicated synopsis, but in an isolated village, two twins were born, separated by day and night. It is years later, and while the older brother Yuru has become a hunter of animals, his sister Asa has been locked away in a cage, ordered to perform a special duty that prohibits her from meeting more than a few select individuals. On an otherwise inconspicuous day, a group of armed men riding in helicopters, referred to as dragons by the citizens, assaults the village in search of Yuru, killing every adult in sight. When Yuru attempts to meet up with Asa and flee, he finds a dead body instead. On top of that, the person who killed her claims to be Yuru's true twin sister. Before the woman can capture him, Yuru is rescued by a man named Dara, an outsider who frequently visits the village. However, it's not long before these two are cornered. In a last-ditch effort, Dara makes Yuru give a gift to the deity of the village, summoning a pair of daemons whose existence is bound to reveal the truth behind these chaotic events. So, a bit complicated, but looks like there's a lot of action here. It's by Bones Film, who has done Gachakuda and My Hero, so they're in pretty good hands. And yeah, it looks like it could be a good show, but I am at the same time a little bit hesitant because I have not really heard much about it before. So it's
from the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. So
I think I might have heard about that.
Yeah, so it's the Full Metal Alchemist creator's sequel series, or not sequel series, but her follow-up show series where she did afterwards. And yeah, so I think a lot of people are excited for this because it is from the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. And Bones, I think, also did work on Full Metal Alchemist, if I'm not mistaken.
Caroline, I'm proud of you. I think this was the most badass trailer out of all 21 of them. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean the girl that's like storming the castle and she's like making like bite motions with her hands and some like invisible demon just biting people in half. Like it's just fucking so gory. I love watching someone storming although the one character, let's get back to that real quick. This girl character that I was just talking about, she looks a little like Ed Elric. Let's see. She's got blonde hair, same color robe as Ed Elric. Yeah, looks a little like Ed Elric. If Ed Elric fell into warm water or whatever that happens in Ramna. Yeah. I
mean, it is the same creator, so a lot of these characters, I think you can make parallels to how they look very similar to their... she's doing the hand motifs. Very similar to how they looked in Full Metal Alchemist. You'll see probably a lot of similarities. It's sort of like, the One Piece is a little bit different, but it's like the One Piece fairy tale kind of thing where they all kind of look similar. Or I guess fairy tale and rave master.
Yeah, so if you want my opinion...
See if this lives up to it.
I think there's some really strong anime here at the top of the list. Obviously, pretty much all the top 7 picks looked really good. And in addition to some others, but obviously I think everybody had a pretty solid top choice, So, yeah, but I'll tell you what.
I was nervous at first, but yeah, we do have some good picks.
You got to go watch that fucking JoJo. That shit was what do they say? That shit was lit. It was that's not what they say these days. What do they say? Help me out. Come on, Caroline. You're the youngest one here.
I'm like a year younger than you, buddy.
It was fucking dope, is what I would say. That JoJo.
Yeah, you could say that.
Fucking dope. So you got to go watch JoJo.
The Riz was off the charts. 6-7.
It was no. It was not 6-7. It was definitely. Listen, I was rizzed up by the green lipstick. It was definitely. Why does he do that with his character designs? It's so odd. Like what?
Well,
who wears green lipstick?
No, it's him. You know it's him by that lipstick. So that's the point.
Well, you're no one else has the balls or the steel balls to pull off a move like that. So I definitely agree with you.
He's running those steel balls.
All right. So in that case, do you guys have any final comments on this list?
No, I am.
It should be an interesting season.
Yeah. So am I doing the trivia question this week?
You are.
Okay. In Jack of All Trades, the Black Dragon is most commonly referenced as belonging to what floor of the Great Dungeon? We're going to head into our news break, and then we'll share the answer after that.
Hey, Anime Addicts, Mitsugi is back in the saddle, bringing you your anime news break. Starting off, well, we talked about Uma Musume last week, and now they've held the 12th annual Anime Trending Awards. They were announced this past Saturday, and Uma Musume Cinderella Grey won Anime of the Year, and it also won a ton of other categories, including Best in Animation, Sports Anime of the Year, and Girl of the Year for Oguri Cap. So it looks like there were some other awards given out as well, including Boy of the Year, which was won by Jinshi from Apothecary Diary Season 2. Uma Musume also won both of the supporting boy and girl characters with Joe Kitahara and Benlo Knight. So if you're a big fan of Uma Musume, it seems to be just at the top of the world right now, winning all sorts of awards. You can go check it out on the Anime Trending Awards 12th annual result if you want to check it out online. But the Horse Girl fanboys should be neighing in appreciation. Next up, well, we have another fan favorite coming back for a third season. Boku no Kokoro no Yabai Yatsu, or Dangers in My Heart Season 3, is getting another anime season. The third season is going to be adapting Norio Sakurai's school rom-com that's going to come out in 2027. So they're giving it to you a little early, so now you have to wait a long time. So the first anime season aired in 12 episodes back in 2023, and then also again in 2024 with the second season from Shin-A Animation. So it doesn't necessarily say here if the studio is going to be the same or not, but I assume if it hasn't mentioned it, it probably is the same. So the movie compiled the first 2 seasons, and those came out in Japan on February 13th, so you may have to find those online if you want to check them out. But for now, more Dangers in My Heart coming. So get excited for that. Next up, an even bigger property that seems to be everywhere in Japan every time I go, Girls into Panzer. Ribbon no Musha, or Ribbon Warrior, is getting a pilot TV episode adapting the manga. So this pilot episode will screen after the 4th and final part of the Girls in Panzer Moto Lovey-Dovey Sakusen Des movie series, which is coming out on April 10th. It's going to be directed by Morihito Abe, who worked on Gundam G-Quux from Studio Actus. So if you remember Girls in Panzer, as the Japanese people certainly do, as I see them playing it and watching it on their phones all the time, you will be able to catch more of this at some point in a pilot episode that I think, if it's popular, will probably lead to a full season being made potentially. Next up, and yes, in a week where there wasn't much actual news, another new anime sequel being announced. Shangri-La Frontier has been announced to have a third season coming out in January 2027. At least they gave you the month this time, unlike the previous Dangers in My Heart. So this was announced on the social media accounts for Shangri-La Frontier back on the 19th of March. So if you're a big fan of this, Studio C2C is going to be remaining doing the production, and Hiro Oki is going to return to do the directing of the third season. So that's what you need to know about this. Chief director will also be Toshiyuki Kuboka of C2C. If you're a big fan of the Big Dumb Fun anime, it's going to be coming out again next year for the third season, and probably more as well, because this anime doesn't seem to have a, well, I don't want to say it doesn't have a plot line, but it could just go forever, so we'll see. This was me, Tsugi, and this was your anime news break, and now, of course, it's time to get back to the podcast. Oh god, I hate this song. It's so annoying. Skip ad. Skip.
Hi, it's Vince with
Oh,
Sham
fuck
Wow.
no.
You'll be saying wow.
I'll be
every
saying,
time you use this
wow, you're
towel.
so fucking
It's
annoying.
Like a chamois,
It's a
like
chamois, it's a
but
towel.
it's
Oh, who
a
really
liquid towel
cares?
doesn't work
Skip. Anime Addicts, do you miss ads like that? Do you miss your buddy Vince from ShamWow? Of course you don't, because we don't torture you with ads like that. Instead, if you want to support the podcast, you can help us stay ad-free by going to AAAPodcast.com/join. Hey, you can head over to patreon.com/AAAPodcast for those of you that like Patreon. And you're going to get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, our after parties. And, of course, it's going to be commercial-free, so you get all that. What else could you possibly want? Again, over at AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon.
Hey, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel, Vincent Valentine, Leron from Gurren Lagann, Guillerman from Digimon, and a bunch of other crap. And I am a total anime addict, dude. Tune in, or else.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
What is your video game Mount Rushmore? I would say Mega Man. Mega Man deserves to be on this list.
Nowhere near the Mount Rushmore.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Are you kidding?
I mean, yes, Mega Man has some great games, but who? Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Mega
you
Man
are out of your mind,
on the
man.
Mount Rushmore?
You're crazy. You're going to put Master Chief that hasn't contributed anything to gaming, and you're going to knock out... and you're
100%
going to knock out Mega Man, which basically solidified Capcom as a game company.
And where are they now?
One of the biggest video game companies in the world, responsible for Resident Evil,
when was
1,000
the-
arcade machines.
when was the last-
Oh my god!
When was the
I can't
last good
believe
Resident
it.
Evil?
I can't believe it.
Hasn't Capcom stopped making video games?
No, I would argue absolutely 100% without a doubt that Sonic the Hedgehog, who
Yeah.
basically founded Sega himself, is more important than Master Chief.
And he fell off a cliff just like Mega Man.
But that doesn't matter. He created an entire company. Without Sega, you wouldn't have the Genesis, the Dreamcast.
What the? Who
Ar-
cares about the Dreamcast?
Dude,
that system was...
Dude, Sega Corp is a gigantic company that makes like half of Japan's arcades.
BCom says, where is Sega now?
Making billions and billions of yen.
In the video game industry?
Yes.
In the video game industry.
Dude, you're nuts,
What video
man.
games are they making?
They make tons of video. Dude,
What video
you're-
games?
you're only
what's
think-
what's big? What's a big
Dude,
Sega video game right now?
dude,
What's a big?
I need you to calm
I'm
down
just
so I
asking you
can
a
talk.
question. I just want to know.
And now, back to the podcast.
I threw that clip in there because every day I open my eyes and it ages even more poorly. I can't. I walked through a mall the other day and I saw Sonic about 43 times. And Resident Evil Requiem just came out, and it's the 6th or 7th highest rated game ever on PC. And oh, I love my boy Kazuo though. Trying to get a Japan trip organized with my boy Kazuo, so we'll see.
Oh wow, love to know that I'm included. All right, time for the in-show weekly trivia.
If it makes you
question.
feel better, it was a Kazuo organized birthday trip. So,
Oh, that's
but that is not yet even in the works because now I have
That does not make me feel better, but okay. I'm kidding.
I have tiny
in Jack of all trades.
Yes,
Huh?
please. I have tiny
you have
spawn
what?
to do. Listen, you'll see me in Japan walking around with one of those like weird swaddle wrap things that where they have the baby strapped to their chest. That'll be me. Yeah, a bald man. My baby has more hair than I do. It's really sad.
That's to be expected. Let's be fair. The hair genes come from the mother's side, so don't worry about it. Your kid will have a full length of hair for a while. In
Also,
Jack
there's
of all
a possibility
trades,
he'll lose the hair, and like
He's
at
fucking
least on the back
doomed.
of its head.
He's
when
doomed.
he's sleeping, they often lose the hair back there for a little while. All right, sorry.
yeah.
go
So
ahead.
the in-show weekly trivia question that was asked before the break was: in Jack of all trades, the Black Dragon is most commonly referred as belonging to what floor of the Great Dungeon? And that's a Great Southern Dungeon, by the way, because there are other dungeons in this world. And the answer
as great.
is,
They're just as great.
yepperonis. And the answer is floor 92. All right, so
Very exciting.
the review we're doing for this episode is Jack of all trades, Party of none. This was passed by the hosts. Me and Mitz and me and Mitz and Pancake were on the episode. So me and Pancake passed it. Mitz was sort of tepid about the
Really?
show. Yeah. So me and Pancake passed it. Because we had seen I had seen the first 5 episodes, I think, when we passed it, and I think she had seen a couple, and it looked like it was heading in an interesting direction, and it featured a main character who wasn't like your typical black-haired protagonist in some ways. So you can watch this on Crunchyroll, and our brief synopsis here, I don't know who wrote it, but is Orun, an adventurer who has been the enchanter, who played the role of an enchanter in the hero party, and is one day abruptly dismissed for being not strong enough by his party mates, claiming he is missing skills. And he is a weakling, and he's a jack of all trades, master of none.
You said the title. You said the title.
Well, most of the title, right? So he starts doing his own thing, doing a solo leveling kind of thing, doing his own thing. And so he switches his class back to swordsman. The reason he was a swordsman enchanter in the first place is because parties can only have one of each role class. So attacker, supporter, healer, enchanter, and range, like wizard or whatever. So he starts doing his own thing, and he goes back to being a swordsman, but with all the abilities he's learned from being an enchanter to go around. One day he helps this girl who is left to die in a dungeon, and that gets him embroiled with the sky silver rabbits. The sky silver.
The Night Sky
Night
Silver
Sky
Rabbit.
Silver Rabbit.
Yeah, it's
Night
Night
Sky.
Sky Silver Rabbits. Night Sky Silver Rabbits. An adventuring guild who wants to do a crazy thing, like go 30 floors into the dungeon or 50 floors into the dungeon in 3 days, which is pretty crazy. And sort of his life begins where it sort of becomes, he sort of starts forming his little harem, but it's not really about that, but it kind of is in the background. And that's I would argue is what
Yeah.
the first couple of episodes are about. It's sort of, itself. So this is done by Animation Studio 42, as marked here. This is their first anime. It is directed by Hiroyuki Kanbei, who directed Oremo and Plunderer. This is based off of a light novel. There is also a manga that exists as well, so it's one of those things where it's a multimedia project at some point. So, Mitz, what were your expectations prior to going into the show? I know you were on the impressions, but yeah.
Well, it was almost right away that I knew this anime was going to walk the same path as a lot of other shows that, are about dungeon adventuring that also happen to be light novel adaptations. So I expected the same overpowered main character who, for some reason, always seems to have black hair these days. I don't know why, but I guess it's more normal than not. I mean, let's be honest. Literally all Japanese people have black hair. So, and, some other familiar themes. So there's... you got your magic, your levels. It lacks some of the things that some of the other anime have that are in the same sort of genre, and we'll get to that in a minute. But, I mean, I think I had some pretty clear expectations about what this anime was going to be. And to be honest with you, I think that it pretty much was what I expected after about 2 episodes. So I pretty much nailed it.
Sweet Caroline?
Yeah, I wasn't on the Impressions episode. So I didn't really hear much about this show going into the season. So when I saw we were doing for a review, I just I got the immediate impression that it was a bog standard fantasy light novel with a black-haired protagonist, which, I mean, if anybody's confused as to why we keep on harping on the black-haired protagonist when there are so many black-haired protagonists, you know, it's kind of standard. The thing is that in these types of shows, they all look the same. It's the Kirito effect. It's the black-haired, bland-looking protag-coon with a dark jacket and angst. That is the typical protagonist for these types of shows.
And you know what? You guys complain about them being black-haired protagonists, but when we get a non-black-haired protagonist who may look like a vending machine, it's all too weird all of a sudden. I'm just saying,
Hey,
whatever.
Listen, I have nothing against the vending machine anime. It has a hot chick with big boobs in it. So I mean, I'm all for it.
It has several hot chicks with big boobs in it.
Yeah, that's why not. I'm on board.
My impressions of this going into it is that I wasn't sure if it was an isekai or not going into it, especially before the impression. And so I was just like, okay, well, if it's an isekai, it looks like it passes my misogyny test. There are other dudes on the picture, including the main character, even though there's a bunch of women. So this should probably be pretty decent and maybe not too terrible. And then when I got into it, it's what I would personally coin. I don't know if it's gone out into the ether yet, and I'm pretty sure... I don't know if I'm the first person to say it, but I've coined it, at least on the podcast, as video game fantasy. You know, essentially a fantasy world that is structured like a video game where everybody inside the world are essentially playing a video game, but are like NPCs that don't know they're in a video game, but the world is structured essentially like a video game. So yeah, that's the video game fantasy show, or lit RPG is what I think the North American version of that term is, but I think for anime, I'm calling it video game fantasy. So yeah, and it has a main character who is supposed to be OP, and we don't really see that until later on into the show. So it was kind of interesting to see how timid he was, because usually when a character suffers the kind of like insult that he does at the beginning of the show, they tend to go super mean and aggro, and while they slowly reveal their softer side, but it feels like his softer side was revealed pretty early on in this. So yeah, my impression was this seems like it was going to be a pretty standard show, and I think more or less that's what we got at the end, and I don't think I'm mad at it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, if you're looking for something like isekai but without being an isekai, and you're sort of into that video game fantasy kind of realm, this is like a pretty solid show in the middle of it, and I would recommend it for people who are looking for that kind of thing. Otherwise, I don't think it does anything innovative. I don't think it does anything different with the genre, overly different with it, that you gotta watch it. But for the most part, I would say if you watch it, I don't think you would have a bad time in the grand scheme of things. Caroline?
I wouldn't really recommend it, but I will say that it's good for the company it keeps. Like, you know, the other competitors in this type of genre, the OP protag coon, black-haired, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's not that bad. Like, he's not insufferable like a lot of the other main characters of that type. The fights aren't extremely boring, and the characters overall are okay. I think it was like an all right, lazy, easy watch. You know, I have not seen a show like this in so long because, you know, we've been very selective with what shows we review these days. So it's been a while since I've watched this type of show. So I was not all that dreading, you know, just a chill, I know what this show's going to be kind of watch. The first half I thought was reasonably entertaining because, you know, it's the dumb, bad people getting their just desserts, a lot like Shield Hero in that way. But after that, all I can really focus was on how silly everything was. And then it started getting a little complicated, which in a way is good. Like, they were trying to differentiate themselves from just being that bog standard fantasy. But I don't know, I just wasn't into, like, because I wasn't really into the show, or I wasn't taking it as seriously as it was taking itself at some points. I just wasn't really caring about all these, you know, hidden storylines and secret identities. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't really feel like it was anything all that special. So it's an all right show.
Mitz?
When you've got other anime in this genre, like Solo Leveling and shit, You could even put like Dungeon Meshi in there probably. I mean, not the same, but they are, going into a dungeon and it's got some action in it. Then there was that Handyman show, the Handyman, whatever fucking, what the hell was that thing called? Handyman in Another World. That was another one of these shows. I mean, like, there's so many of them. And the reality is that this one just doesn't do anything that the other ones don't. And this one's just it's not as good as the Handyman show, I wouldn't say. It's not as good as, definitely not as good as Soul Leveling. I would take a lot of, I wouldn't even say it's, I don't even think I like this as much as Harem in the Labyrinth, to be honest, but it isn't totally bad. I mean, I enjoyed certain aspects of it. I like Orun. He's okay as a character. He's a little boring, bland, but like he's not terrible. I think he kind of rebounds nicely and finds his new role in the world with his new guild. I thought the first few and the last few episodes were probably the best. The first two episodes were enough to keep me watching it, which is why I think I passed it as well when we were trying to decide if we wanted it or not. And then the last few episodes did get a little tense. I thought that was kind of nice. So, but there were some things in this show that normally I think, oh, here we go again. Cliche bullshit. And then when they don't have it, I suddenly think, wow, I missed this. So, for example, I kind of missed the power levels and the leveling and the stats. And, like, oh, this monster's a level 42 and it has this much HP and all this, how they have in some of these shows. And I felt like it made gauging the character's strength a little bit more, a little easier. And if all the anime is going to do is grind levels and go down into a dungeon, you may as well just put the other video game concepts in there because they fit. This anime doesn't have any of those. So I did miss that, definitely. I thought the animation and the music in the show were pretty low on the totem pole. There were some low points for sure. I thought you definitely have those animation scenes where, like, the background is frozen, the foreground is frozen, but the lip flaps move. Then they cut to the other side, and the other people are doing the same thing. They don't move either. So you'll have, a whole minute, 2 minute, 3 minute of nothing but lip flaps with nothing moving. And that's not even really animation at that point. You're just, like, swapping little lip flaps in and out, and that's just absolutely not even animated. So, yeah, I remember what the OP sounded like, which is probably better than I can say for some shows, but I still don't think it was very good.
Yeah, I thought the OP was pretty good.
It was a solid OP.
So I don't think I would recommend this. I don't think it's a terrible show, but boy, this is a stuffed genre. I mean, come on. Shangri-La Frontier? Give me a break. Like, that's another show where all they do is go down in dungeons and, like, fight monsters. I mean, this is the same fucking concept, complete with PKers. Like, that. This show also has some stuff like that in here, and Shangri-La Frontier just smokes the shit out of this. I mean, it's not even fucking close. They had more animation in one episode of Shangri-La Frontier than probably this whole season of Jack of All Trades. So you really can't.
It is a new studio, and it is their first anime, so I would give them that sort of leeway a little bit. I mean, at least it had more animation than Way of the House Husband.
It might have more animation.
It would, like, sometimes get into like a CG animation for the fighting, but even like in the second leading up to the fighting, it's them preparing to get into the fight and it switches to a CG style.
I mean, this might have more animation than Drops of God from what I saw in that trailer.
Personally, I didn't think the animation was that bad, but I know what you're talking about. It's just not as bad as things I've seen. That's all.
It's not the worst fucking thing ever. It's just, I don't know. I'm just trying to make the point that I can't recommend this show because the genre is stuffed. It's so stuffed. I mean, even Dot Hack, going back again to Dot Hack from like the 90s, this anime can't sniff Dot Hack. Like, it's not close. So
yeah, but though it's different.
Is it?
Because you're talking because there's video game fantasy, there's isekai that pretends that have video game rules, and then there's fantasy video game anime.
But are you splitting hairs? Are you splitting hairs though? Like
I kind of am. But all to say, like, this isn't even like the top of its own genre of video game fantasy. I would say. I would just argue that this is the definition of a mid anime in like
the Midnights.
The most of sense.
It's
like,
mid.
It is.
That's
It's very
sure.
mid in the most not where it's everyone's oh god it's so bad and I'm just like no you guys don't understand it's just mid anime and you guys
No.
I think this is actually just what you can say this is box standard anime.
This is
that,
background music anime.
Like, it's not bad. It's pretty decent. I think we'll get into it when we get into spoilers a little bit, which I think we should probably do. But for the most part, I think it's just like a mid anime, and like in the most non-pejorative way possible.
Listen, I watched almost all of this cycling in a sauna at Hot Works. So that's the kind of show we're talking about here. I'm like
We need shows like that.
just
I was
draining.
playing a game on my phone when I was watching.
You're playing a game on your phone, yeah. Well, that's fair.
You're saying this show made you hot and sweaty?
You don't even know how much sweat you can generate at Hot Works. I mean, it's fucking crazy. But I'm like toweling myself off. I watched the first half of this in an airport waiting in like security. I mean, it's like that kind of a show. You don't have to. It's an easy watch. Doesn't suck balls. But yeah, anyway, let's get the spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoilers
I think
are
that's a
coming.
fine thing.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Mitz that I think the first couple of episodes and the last couple of episodes are where a lot of interesting things happen, where the first couple of episodes are the inciting incident, and the last couple of episodes are essentially setting up threads that are going to follow into season 2, which I think was announced not too in the last couple week or so. So it is getting a second season.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, literally an hour ago it was annannounced.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's an hour ago?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I have to know it's at level 100.
So I feel, but I also got the feeling the way the show's final episodes were structured that it had to have a second season, because it did end in like an open-ended way, but it did set up
And
a
it
lot of
teased-
threads to continue.
Like the last shot is like of a random character we have yet to meet, which I always find funny. Like they don't do anything; they're just standing there. So I'm like, why do I care about this new character? There's no reason. If I don't see them do anything, then I have no expectation of how much I'm going to look forward to seeing this new character.
It's mostly just to make you wonder. So the interesting thing, so what I found interesting when they go through his flashback, right? One of his early flashbacks.
Yeah.
With the Xeon girl, and when she starts talking and it's like it's bleeping out certain words. Mm-hmm. And when I was watching it, because a few minutes later they basically explain that, or they infer, they don't actually explain, they infer that his mind was altered essentially.
Wait a second.
Or that
whose mind was altered?
The
Orin?
characters.
Yeah.
How could someone so powerful have their mind altered?
Well, that's what we're probably going to find out in season 2. Like, what was the whole thing him and the original hero were training for? Why did he give it up? Why
that was kind of interesting.
He's super powerful, but they basically mind wiped him, so that's why he clearly doesn't have access to higher level magic.
But and yet he has a way of being incredibly powerful anyway, so he's even more special.
Yeah, but they don't even dwell on it too crazy. I think that's part of what it is, right? You know, it's not like everyone's not like, okay, in a way everyone is gunning to suck his cock, but not everyone is gunning to suck his cock. It doesn't give that impression, you know, like in some of these other anime where everyone is just like, oh my god, we're useless, you're like the most best person ever, and we can never be as great as you, and we just really, and he's like, ugh.
It's a micro
Where in this
penis
one it's
anyway.
just like, probably, but in this one he's clearly powerful, and it makes sense that for someone as powerful as him that his mind had to have been altered for how affected he is and how different his childhood self was to his current self. I think was also interesting. So I think it brings up a lot of interesting points that they're hopefully going to at least further develop in season 2. And I think it goes along with the fact that I said I think the show overall has decent pacing. I don't think it goes too fast or too slow. It may go a little bit slower in the middle, but it's never for too long.
Honestly, I enjoyed the first half of the show up until the end of their, great dungeon 3 days arc thing. Mm-hmm. And then like the promise of a more complex backstory was a bit interesting. But once he got into this new guild or party or plan, whatever it's called, and they're making these plans to defeat the dragon, that's when I'm like, why are we doing this? Because that on its own is just a really silly thing. So Orin has already defeated the dragon twice. He's defeated it with his old party, and he defeated it by himself. So all of the tension to defeating this dragon is completely wiped out by the fact he's already defeated it twice, and once by himself. So now he's joining this elite party that can definitely defeat it with his help. We already know this because he's already done it twice. So why is it that we have to go through this again with this new party? And I know it's like a personal thing, but it would make more sense if maybe the dragon got away from Orin the second time, and that's why they have to go back and defeat it for their personal growth because it defeated Albert, their friend. Or they went and defeated it without Orin to have that be their personal growth thing. And it kills me even more that they went with this route where he's already defeated it twice. And not only this, but he's the one who delivers the final blow. So what's the point? What was the point in doing this?
The same reason that people that play MMOs all go do the same dungeon. Like everybody has to complete it. And to me, the Night Sky Silver Rabbits, they want to complete the dungeon, right? So they have to go through the Black Dragon to get to go deeper.
Sure.
I get what you're saying. But
it's
hey,
just
it was
in
regenerating.
a story-wise thing.
But it regenerated, Caroline. Come on. See, listen, the reason why they fought the Black Dragon again is because they were trying to create tension where these little kids were trying to survive against these PKers while Orin was distracted somewhere else with the Black Dragon. It was just a plot device to get his attention divided so that you were wondering, oh my God, like how are they going to pull this off? Like how are they going to fight the dragon while so it's regenerating, so the adults are like having their own struggle. Orin's freaking out because his little crystal thing went off and he knows the kids are in trouble. And then the kids, like I said, they're getting their asses kicked because they're like trainees basically. So it was just to build tension. And if you want my opinion, I thought the last 2 episodes were the best of the show. I thought the tension, it worked for me. I didn't think anything bad would really happen to the little kids, although I wanted them all to get killed pretty much because I just like when characters die in anime because they pussy out 90% of the time and don't ever kill anybody. But
No, but then they kill their observer.
Oh yeah,
the
and
guy from the clan,
and
they
no one cared.
behead him, and nobody cares.
No one fucking cares. That was
Of
pretty
course,
funny.
no one cared. No,
That's just
he didn't even have a
terrible.
name. He was
Rip
just the observer.
NPC 6. You poor
But he's
poor
part
soul.
of their clan. He's not like some rando, and nobody even acknowledges that there's a beheaded person who's part of their clan on the ground.
Because it's not in the it got they forgot to animate it. That's why.
I don't think they even show his body laying there at all. He just
they
just
don't.
forget
No.
about him.
Yeah, he just disappears. His
Oh,
body
my
like
goodness.
teleports out of the dungeon after he's beheaded.
Surprised they behead him. Like, holy shit.
I mean, it's to set up the threat, right? Level. Because when we first meet them, we only see them after they've killed a few people who we don't know if they're good or evil, but they're talking about killing adventurers. And
Yeah.
we're like, ooh. And then
But-
this is to show, these guys are a threat. They had the observer.
And leading up to this, they were discussing how, like, we have to see if Orin's on our side, and if he's not, we gotta kill him. I'm like, okay. So Orin shows up, and they're like, we gotta kill you, man. I'm like, what happened to, like, asking if he's on your side? They just completely go past that and go straight to the killing.
I actually couldn't remember why they wanted him dead. I was sitting there in the sauna dying. I'm like, oh, I'm like literally getting ready to black out. And I'm like, why do they want him dead again? Why does this little girl in the hood want him to die? And ultimately, I still don't know. I think I said
It's like
they-
he's threatening them. Like, he's a threat if he's
'Cause-
that powerful to defeat
Well,
the Black
I think
Dragon.
because they already attacked the kids, right? And so he comes in heated, and they're like, okay, well, we're just here to see if you are or with the church or not, or you're willing to join us. And he essentially rejects them outright and like, all right, well, we're gonna fuck you up. And then he's like, nah, joke's on you. And he fucks those 2 people up, and then he has to fight against his childhood friend, which he doesn't know is his childhood friend, and she doesn't know it's her childhood friend until she realizes it's her childhood friend, and his mind has been wiped. So she's like, oh fuck, I want to bone this guy bad. I can't hurt him. Let's go. That's
come
basically
on,
it.
it's so
And then
small.
she complained. I know, but we shouldn't body shame until the hentai episode.
Why?
But
exactly.
but I think it's one of those things where I think at the end it's just more world building setup, right? So she blames this woman who I think they're implying is the green haired girl in the heroes party now, who's the new enchanter, because they kind of shift over to
something up
him.
with her.
Yeah, there's clearly something up because she has all the you're doing something suspicious angles in anime.
Yeah.
And then also, why does clearly the hero must have had something done to him as well, because he doesn't think Orun is dead. So I don't know what's happening there.
Well, how can they be so fucking incompetent? Like, pretty much everybody else
Yeah.
realizes that he's strong as fuck, including the blue-haired girl, Luna, or whatever. And then somehow this hero party that is that you would normally think is the strongest because it's the hero, and this is one of those anime. You would think they would realize, but see, maybe they needed to have like the levels and the stats in this show, which they don't. Because if they did, they'd know that he was probably like 30 levels higher than them, and that they were all just losers.
I don't think they need the levels in the show. I think the fact that
They
it's
clearly
their
did.
hubris that it's supposed to show. Well, they don't know. They're the hubris of it all.
This is the one thing that made me laugh a lot, and like not so. It's not like it's just because it's so silly. Is the fact that it takes them that long to figure out that he's actually a good enchanter. And it's not like, oh, you should have realized it when he was in the party. I don't blame them for that. I blame them like there's like a million examples of how they are not strong without him. And
they still don't realize that. By the way.
They have their heads so stuck in the sand. It's hilarious
and they still don't realize it at the end.
Still don't get it.
And honestly, that's why I love Luna. Sorry, go ahead, Caroline.
No, that was basically what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. I love Luna because I remember when Mitz first saw that character, I was like, oh, she's probably going to be so useless and whatever. And literally the next episode after that, she's just like, you guys are all fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like, he is clearly really good. Like, I've worked with him. He's like the reason we're good guys. Like, you guys are fucking dumb.
It's like, I'm not going down there. I don't want to die with you guys. But again, like in kind of similar fashion, how did they fill a party with this many idiotic ass hats? Like, they're so stupid and they're so mean. And like, it's like how like the defender and that one girl with the fire powers, whatever. How do you get so many of these people into one party to act like the biggest jerks possible?
If they were smarter, they wouldn't have kicked him out. Then he couldn't have gone to help the little kids.
It is hubris, right? Because I think the blue-haired girl Luna explains it, right? Is that you guys got so used to being buffed by this guy that you guys didn't try anymore. So you guys were good at one point, but you got lazy, and he was making up for that skill difference and laziness that happened. And you guys just never realized it because you guys were good to begin with, and then realized you had actually started declining in your skills because he kept filling in the gap. And they still didn't understand after she said all of that, and they were still like, you're not strong. And so it's like, yeah, these people are meant to look like dum-dums, and obviously it's part of the whole manipulation that the green-haired girl is going to use to turn the hero into some part of the villain plan, potentially.
And I love how they keep on saying, Jack of all trades, master of none. It's like they're saying it like it's a slur. It's so frequent.
Was that only really early in the show? Because I don't remember them saying. Because I watched the beginning like a bajillion months ago. So.
Well, it's only when the heroes party shows up, and specifically the girl, the one with the fire power. She always says it, and so does the defender guy. But it's only when they come on screen and they're talking about Orun that they go like, "Jack of all trades, master of none." It's so silly.
And they all do want to bang Orun, of course. So the little girl with the red hair, what's her name? Let's see, I gotta look all the names up.
Sophia.
Sophia, she definitely
Selma.
wants. She doesn't even understand her feelings yet because she's like 12. But like she
like, can they just like make her admire him like a big brother instead of trying
it's a bit
to
of both.
force a romance plot between a 14-year-old and an actual adult, and just leave him with Selma?
I don't think they're trying to force that, right? I think Selma recognizes that's what's happening, but she's also a kid and realizes it's her first love, right? And that first love is sort of brought on the fact that he did save her life when she was about to die, and so she does have that kind of trauma bond to him in a lot of ways. I don't think they're end game. I'm personally pulling for Luna because, you know, She's like a boss ass bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so Luna
So,
wants
I'm going
him.
for Luna.
Caroline wants him. Sophia
Not
wants
me.
him.
Not me.
I don't think
the character.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
I think.
I just want to make
be
that
fair,
clear.
I don't think she actually wants him. I think the boy definitely does want him though.
The boy wants him.
I think
Oh yeah.
I forgot his name.
Logan.
Don't you remember their nicknames? You
Logan
got
Hayward.
Sophia to
Log,
Sophie.
yeah, Log, yeah.
Caroline to Carol, and Logan to Log.
Yeah.
Log for real.
Log.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I suppose it's when you say it's Logan, when they say it in Japanese and they
Log.
turn it to Log, but
Log.
we would say it Log.
Lug.
That's
Log.
fucking bad. That's a bad nickname.
And
Yeah.
they're like, Logan's already pretty short. You sure you want a nickname? And he's like, yes.
Well, they want one because
I
Yeah,
mean,
he's giving them out.
they're into that. They want teacher.
this has got to fail your test, Andrew, because I'm looking at the cast list here. Oh, it definitely should, because there's 10 characters here. I'm looking at them. You know what? I'm fucking looking at them.
No, Mint. I don't think you realize my test is like the Bechdel test, where the bar is really low because of how anime has been for so long. There has to be at least one other male character in the sea of women, other than the main character, for it to pass my misogyny
Okay,
test.
well, let's just pull this up.
Well, that's like the opposite of the Bechdel test. The
My
Bechdel test is like there has to be
No,
women characters and they have to have a conversation that does not involve
No,
a
I'm not
man.
talking about it in terms of like in relation to how low of a bar you have to pass
okay.
the Bechdel test in theory, and still so many things
Well-
fail it. It's the same in concept here. It's a pretty low bar.
Okay, but
and
listen.
so many anime still fail it.
Okay, but listen, I'm showing on screen here. We got 10 characters here. You got Orun, then you've got Selma, girl, Sophia, Rain, Shion, Luna, Caroline, all women. And then you have a little boy who isn't a man, and then you have an old man who's like the general store owner, and then you go back to more girls. So there's really only one male character in this anime that even matters at all. And then there's like the one
no,
guy.
Mitz.
What?
It's really that they don't have to even be a mattering character. The fact that the poster put another dude on the poster.
That's it?
That's how low of
They're
a bar
playing
it
you,
is,
bro.
Mitz.
But they're
And
playing you.
No, you and so many anime fail this, Mitz. You don't understand how many anime fail this, right? 'Cause
You know what?
if
I
they're-
took notice of it as well. It's like, oh, there's another male character in this.
I was
Anyway.
worried for a second because Logue in the poster
Logue.
could literally be like they're kind of, it could be a girl or a boy. You never know sometimes in these shows. But then I saw white hair boy, and so yeah, it's just like, yeah, no, the show passes on the bare minimum. It's like the Bechdel test. It literally is the bare minimum, and so many anime fail this. In your harem show, is there at least another boy that is in another dude in the poster?
We have no need
even
of
as a
other
friend
boys.
character.
We have no need of them.
Because look, if you look at
Do
a
they
lot
have
of
breasts?
harem anime
No?
or whatnot. Sorry, what?
Do they have breasts?
Who?
The other boy characters.
No.
Well, then they don't need to be on the poster.
Well, I'm saying that's if you look
That's
at
the point.
in other harem animes, there are friend characters in those anime, but they don't even make it on the poster. So
No,
like,
because they're selling this. They're selling them to gooners.
well, yeah, that's my point. I don't care. The shows that if you're selling it to
Listen.
gooners, you're not going to usually make a good show. It's-
Listen,
look,
these
I said it.
These gooner anime fans feel the same way about men on their poster as my son feels about me when he lays on my bare hairy chest. There are no tits, therefore I am useless.
I don't
The
know,
end.
Mitz. You got a
No.
bit of those peck poppers.
I-
Those might be titty enough.
I do, but they do not produce milk. Therefore, I am useless.
I mean, yes,
There
you
you
already
go.
did the job you needed to do.
I did. It was a different kind, a different milk. That's right.
All right.
Poor
We
Caroline.
should probably score this thing.
Yes, we should. I'll go first. Why not? This anime was fine. I didn't hate watching it. I could watch season 2 if you guys decide you want to. It's easy as fuck to watch it. I love when they're easy to watch. I'm too tired most of the time to like pay attention to this shit. So I like that it's simple to watch. But because of that, not much happens. I definitely think that you're better served watching about 25 other shows that are almost the same concept. But in a vacuum, that doesn't matter. So I would say this anime is about, I don't know, 3 enchanter spells out of 5. Like, I think it's just right down the middle. Non-offensive, not worth talking about. won't remember it for very long, but it wasn't hard to watch it.
I'll go next. Yeah, so I'll just echo a lot of what Mitch said. It's not a bad watch. It's not a hard or difficult watch. It's just not all that special. It's trying in a couple of different ways, and honestly, I would not be that upset to watch season 2 for the podcast, but I won't be seeking it out personally, just because. I think my biggest issue with the show was the whole Black Dragon thing, because for another thing, like, he took it down by himself, and he had to do all this shit and spend so much magic to the point where you think that this should kill him, right? No, he wakes up the next day. It was like a rough day at the gym the previous day. And it was that kind of soreness. It was like, oh, not that big a deal. And everybody made it a big deal. I'm like, no, he's walking around. He's doing just fine. And then cherry on top, when they go back to defeat the Black Dragon, he's struggling. Like, why are you struggling? You have like 4 other people with you right now. So, there's a lot of things that just don't make a lot of sense to me, but it was all right. 2 out of 5. Logs out of 5.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty basic show. I think it does a lot of things well. The animation there's not a lot of it, but there's more than enough. The music was pretty decent. The OP, the ED were fine. I think for the most part, the characters were pretty decent. They were distinct enough while still having generic faces and like that blank stare that I noticed, especially in the later episodes when they're in like the CG mode. You can sort of see like the blank CG eyes that they have. It feels like because of how the eyes are drawn. But for the most part, it's a solid show. I enjoyed it. I look forward to a season 2 in the sense that I'm watching it probably regardless of if we're watching it for the podcast or not, because I am invested enough in the world building to continue the show. And like, it's an easy watch. I don't have to remember too much. I like world building in a show, and I think the show does a very good job of building up the world where you're getting bits and pieces enough to make the world interesting without just sort of word dumping a lot of the time, or if they're word dumping, it's not for very long, right? It's not like a whole episode of just this is how the world works. It'll be like a short minute or 2 minute like monologue in the guy's head talking about the world as he explains it to us. So I like world building in a lot of ways, and I think the show does that, and I think it's set up for a particularly interesting season 2 that might just be disappointing because what the answers are, but I think it still sets up that pretty well. I'm gonna still give it a 3 out of 5. Black Dragons defeated. So for the show, because overall it was pretty much there, so I think that gives us an overall of 2.75 for the show. I don't know how we do that when that happens, because it was 2 3s and a 2.5. Did you say 2?
I said 2.5.
Yeah, so it's like
that's
2.75.
a 2.8. That's a 2.86.
Yeah,
if my mental math is right.
I assume we round up, so it's a 3.
Oh,
so
we're rounding up, baby. That's right. Just
so rounds out to a 3 out of 5.
A hair above mid. Just a hair.
All right.
Take
us out.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. That's our show for today. And I'll tell you, next week there is no review because we're going to be doing our anime Oscars. So where we'll probably find out that Solo Leveling won again. We'll have to see. Much to the dismay of people who don't like shonen. So, anyway, but that aside, thanks to Caroline for hopping in. It was good to talk to you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, yes, I agree.
I might even say I missed you just a little.
Oh, my God, Mitch.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, Andrew. Oh, that's the wrong drop, but oh well.
Yes, it is.
Works for me. So, Andrew, of course, love you.
Love you too, buddy.
Nice Growlithe. So, or Arcanine. Is it Arcanine?
No, it's Growlithe.
Growlithe. Okay, I got it.
Snorlax.
Snorlax needs to be bigger. Proportionally to Growlithe, he should be way bigger. He's bringing. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Look,
it's still kind of
it is deceptive. I remember. I looked at it. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy it, and then when I went to buy it, I'm like, what? That is larger than I remember.
We're gonna go do a Hobby Addicts right now, where I'm gonna talk about Resident Evil because it is on top of the gaming world right now, which is kind of cool, and other things as well. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll probably talk about hentai as well. So if you want to get that, again, the Patreon right now seems to be where most people are heading. So head over there, support the show, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.